The year is 2023 and this is the first Impact Wrestling video on the Fog Wrestling channel. Impact Wrestling, or slash as I like to call it, TNA. Now the pay-per-view was called Hard to Kill, and I think that pretty much sums up TNA. Impact Wrestling. It is hard to kill because this company has been dying for about a decade now. This company has been bad for nearly 10 years. Was there some okay stuff in like 2016-15? You'd Matt Hardy, the broken Matt. Yeah, some of that was okay, but let's be honest here. This company's peak years was like the late 2000s. And maybe early 2010, 2011. You know, like I'd say if you look at like a 6-year period, I'd say for like 2006 or to 2012 or something along those lines. But let's be real, the last like 5, 7, 8 years, man, for this company have been nothing short of borderline unwatchable. They've had to resort to pretty much selling to anyone who would be willing to buy them. They've had Jeff Jarrett come in and just completely change the company name from TNA to Global Force Wrestling. What an absolute failure that was. They've been unable to keep top stars. They've been unable to attract top stars. It's literally, and with AEW in place now, they've got even less stars than they would have had in the past. And it's not like they didn't even have the guys that AEW were capable of signing in like 2018 before AEW came along. You could actually argue Impact's got a better roster now than they did in 2018, which is weird because with the more competition, you'd think the roster should have got worse. But my point to being is that this is not a good company anymore. And anyone who thinks that Prime TNA in its prime was great, undeniably great. You know, you could argue Prime TNA was as good as most wrestling companies have ever been. Maybe not Attitude Era level, but I would put Prime TNA up against most companies, especially when they had like the influx of stars from like the WWE stars, the WCW guys, and I know a lot of people didn't like that. But let's be real, without those guys, the eyes weren't really on TNA. TNA didn't really take off. If we're being completely honest, it didn't really take off till Kurt Angle came in. And I know people might have liked TNA in 2004, 2005. And you know what? I thought those years were pretty good. They were good years. But if you want to be a serious competitor, you needed some big names. Then they started getting big names. And they got Sting in, they got Christian in. Then when Kurt Angle came in, they already had Nash there, and then you got Booker T, you'd Scott Steiner, you'd so many, but then obviously we all know 2010, Jeff Hardy comes in, you know, RVD comes in, then we get Hogan, we get Bischoff, we get Ric Flair, the fucking, I'm not calling them big names, but remember we got the Nasty Boys. Anyway, point being is, you needed those big names, and now this company doesn't have those big names. But I tell you what, it's got one name that's pretty good, and that name is Bully Ray. But in this video, we're going to call him Baby Ray because he loses this match. Now, the TNA World title was on the line. Why it was on the opening match, I don't really know. But Bully Ray taking on Josh Alexander, who absolutely 100% sucks. There is nothing entertaining, there is nothing interesting about this guy. He is just a guy that wrestles, wears wrestling gear, and sometimes comes out with like ear protectors on. I mean, why would you like this Josh Alexander guy? You could look at Josh Alexander, and honestly, there's like a million people like him on the indies. There's nothing to. He used to be a part of a failed tag team called The North. Even the name The North sucks. This guy should not be world champion. He's broken so many record title reigns in TNA's. Got a longer title reign than Sting, a longer title reign than AJ Styles. He's Angle. You know, he's had a much longer title reign than all these greats. But I thought tonight was going to be the night where it ended. Bully Ray taking him on. It looks like Josh Alexander's about to win. Bully Ray comes, not Bully Ray, two guys come out and start helping Bully Ray. Now my point is, these two guys were jobbers. Now the issue I have, if Bully Ray is going to rely on help, if Bully Ray is not going to be a single guy, if he is going to have people coming in and interfering on behalf of him, if he's going to have help, then isn't this the perfect opportunity to reunite Aces and Eights? And I don't care if you can't get any old Aces and Eights members. You don't need any Aces and Eights members. The only guy you need is Bully Ray, right? You just get Bully Ray and you have anybody. These two bums that came out tonight, they could have been Aces and Eights. They could have come out wearing the cut and it would have been a lot better. But no, they were just two guys that wore fucking wrestling tights, nothing entertaining, nothing interesting about them. They come out, they tie up Josh Alexander, Bully Ray's beating up Josh Alexander with a trash can. Tommy Dreamer comes out. He hits a punch each on those two guys, and then they disappear. That's them at the match for 10 minutes. You don't see them again. Tommy gets in the ring. Tommy looks old as fuck here. He takes the trash can for Billy Ray. It looks like Tommy's going to team up with Billy Ray. And then Tommy turns on Billy Ray, hits him with the trash can, tries to do a Dreamer driver, but I mean, it looked like this was slow motion. They were moving that slow. I thought they were wrestling underwater here. I don't know what was wrong with him. Tommy Dreamer showing his age big time. Billy Ray pushes him into the table. And then Billy Ray is beating up Josh Alexander again. Josh Alexander's wife comes in. Billy Ray asks her to beg, not to beat her husband. She's like, you know, in front of her husband, trying to protect them. Billy Ray goes to hit her with a trash can. He doesn't do it. She's begging. Billy Ray asks her to give him her wedding ring. She's about to take it off, and then Billy Ray is about to hit her with a trash can, and then she goes downstairs, hits a low blow on Billy Ray. Billy Ray kind of just like stood there, obviously selling the effects, but he was like still on his feet for about 30 seconds just looking at her, and like, honestly, it wouldn't hurt that fucking much if we're being honest. If you're in a world title match, you would overcome that pretty quickly. But no, he doesn't overcome it quickly. He just stands there for about 30 seconds, and then she does like a what was that move Brian Kendrick used to do? Like sliced bread. She runs up the top rope, does a sliced bread onto Billy Ray. Then she uncuffs or cuts the ties of Josh Alexander. Then he hits a move through a table, hits a big splash off the ladder through a table. Billy Ray kicks out, and then he locks in the ankle lock, and Billy Ray taps onto the table. So there you go, Baby Ray here losing the match, and this is not what Billy Ray would have done, right? Billy Ray would not have got beat up by a girl. Billy Ray would not have had a sliced bread maneuver performed on him. What Billy Ray really should have done was he should have grabbed that bitch by the hair, and he should have hit her with a pile driver, like on the tacks, or powerbomb through the table or something. But the fact that Billy Ray was made to essentially just got beat up here, Josh Alexander was taken out the equation, and this woman literally hits a low blow on Billy Ray, then a sliced bread on Billy Ray, and you know, it made Billy Ray look weak as fuck. That's not what should have happened. Billy Ray should have been like, you beg me. And he still hits her anyway. Or we could have had Billy Ray, you know, threatening to powerbomb Josh Alexander's wife. Then Josh Alexander, to prevent his wife getting hurt, he quits. He submits, he gives up the match, so Billy Ray wins, and then Billy Ray, being Billy Ray, could have just powerbombed her through a table anyway. That's how it should have been done. That's what should have happened, but no, we can't get that, because it's 2023, and every single promotion, women have to beat up men, and it's, you know, it is embarrassing, man. It's fucking borderline embarrassing, and I know this video is going to get demonetized, because you can't speak about shit like that, but you know what, fuck it, man. This stuff sucks, it really does. So Billy Ray, you know, lost this match, should have won it. The only match that I really watched, I did check out some of the other stuff, and there's nothing to like about Josh Alexander. You know, his wife's pretty hot, but I mean, that's it. And why would I care? I mean, oh, he's got a hot wife. Why would I like him because of that? You know, that doesn't do anything for me. I mean, his wife's hot, but that doesn't mean I'm going to give him brownie points. You know, he doesn't go higher up my fucking scale of 1 to 10 because he's got a decent looking wife. You know, that doesn't do nothing for me. So yeah, Josh Alexander, the guy absolutely sucks. He's retained the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, and you know, and Billy Ray was made to look like such a bitch. And who were the two guys that came out and helped Billy Ray? Seriously, one punch each for Tommy Dreamer, and they were done. It was like the Hulk Hogan punches in 2010 TNA. When he's taking care of like Fortune. Oh man, Tommy Dreamer comes out, hits 2 punches, and the guys are taking out the match. You know, just embarrassing, man. Really, really embarrassing. Billy Ray is supposed to be, you know, he'll do anything. He's a bully. He's a nasty piece of work. You know, but no, you know, he got beat up by a woman, and that was it. You know, oh god, dumb. Very, very dumb. In the main event, Mickie James won the Impact Women's Championship. She defeated Jordynne Grace. Her career was on the line, so it looks like Mickie James is going to prolong her career for a little bit longer. You know, I don't mind Mickie James. I've always liked Mickie James. Probably preferred her more when she was attracted and abducting people that Trish Stratus liked, but, you know, what is there to say? She's 43 now. And she doesn't even have a gimmick anymore, you know. She's just a wrestler. She's not this crazy bitch that's stalking Trish Stratus. She's just a wrestler, and just being a wrestler doesn't do anything for me. It just doesn't. Joe Hendry retained the digital championship. Didn't know he was a digital champion. Didn't even know this digital champion thing existed, but he did. He retained it. Santino Marella came out Apparently he's going to be the new authority figure of TNA. Frankie Kazarian has signed a long-term deal with TNA. But in all honesty, I don't think anyone really cares about Frankie Kazarian. He was just one of those guys that looked okay when he was around stars. See, when Frankie Kazarian was in Fortune, and he's standing beside Ric Flair, and he's standing beside Beer Money and AJ Styles, then you're like, you know what, he's not that bad. But you take those guys away from Frankie Kazarian, and then you take the suit of Frankie Kazarian, and then it's just Frankie Kazarian wrestling with tights on. There's nothing to like about this guy. There isn't. So, yeah, I'm not excited about him signing a new long-term contract. Who knows, guys? Maybe I'll review Impact in the next Impact and watch the full show and see if I enjoy it or not. But I mean, this was okay, but Billy Ray should have won. Billy Ray 100% should have won. So in my opinion, it sucked. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll catch you in the next one. Till then though, peace.